Hello everyone, this is Fantastic Worlds, looking back to Lovecraft Country and the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. Now, the thing is, we've hit day 2, but just to let you know, if you're doing this in real time, I accidentally did a double release last week. I'm going to try to record this in time so that you don't get penalized for my mistake. It was me not understanding the UI of YouTube very well, the new one they created for the beta version, and I unlocked 2 at once by accident. But like I said, I'm going to try not to penalize you guys for it. Also, to let you know that there's actually 2 sequels to, not exactly sequels, there's 2 other games that the game producers have put into the same world as Dr. Dekker, but they're not actually cosmic horror games. They're more like supernatural comedies. They're called The Shapeshifting Detective, in which you play a detective that shapeshifts on another murder mystery, and Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe, which is kind of a weird episodic one based on a couple of late night shite hosts. Then weirdness happens around. I'm probably not going to do them for the channel, but I'm going to leave links. I'll post them up there if I remember properly, if they're on the upper right, to a friend of mine, Luckless Lovelocks, who has gone through both of them, and he has his own run he's going to be try to do live with this if you want to see somebody else try to stumble through it yourself. I'll leave a link up there before, like I was saying. Anyways, to day 2. So first thing we notice is we've got the usual suspects, she says, but we also have 2 other people, Lacey and Jasmine. Now the thing is since they're yellow or amber or whatever you want to call them, these technically are optional. I could progress the day by not talking to them, but you're gonna kind of do that because we're going for see how much content is possible. I will try to green everybody so we get all the data. Now the game wants us to talk to Nathan, but we've been talking to Nathan over and over again. I'm going to give him a break. Let's see what Lacey looks like. Oh, wait, we saw her in the opener in episode 1. Wasn't she the one thinking there was something shape-shifting in the window? And is that why she's staring at the window right now? Is there a shape-shifting monster, like, lurking here? Because I kind of would like to know. I can't turn my head to the right. Okay, that's a little unnerving. Anyways, we should probably figure out who she is. This was the one to start with before, so let's try it again.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then?
Probably not. That's why I asked the question. No, what about you?
Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her.
Huh?
But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch.
Okay, so why are you on my couch then? Or, sorry, that's Dekker's couch. I just inherited it. I wonder if it's still got blood on it. Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, so... Oy. Okay, so tell me about the neighborhood watch. About the watch. See if we can just do that one and trigger it.
Sorry, I've not heard anything about that.
Apparently I've got to ask you about the tell me about. I mean, seriously, is like what is a diversion burglary? Does anybody actually know out there? Tell me about the neighborhood watch, I guess.
It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes. Poor Agnes.
All right, tell me about Agnes. I guess I'm here to help her with the stress about, having her next door neighbor murdered. Unless, of course, she's the one who did it and made up the whole thing.
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
Okay, what is the truth? Truth.
It killed them.
It
looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah.
Jehovah's Witness to anybody who's not
But
in the States.
She said she was selling double glazing.
Okay, tell me about the woman.
I suppose I could tell you.
Okay.
But I don't have all the gossip.
Was the woman... No. Oh, God. Here we go. Tell me about double glazing. Because screw it.
I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house.
What happened to Agnes?
I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face.
Well, not
And
exactly.
Agnes just fell to the floor. A few minutes later, the woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes.
Okay, are you sure Agnes is dead?
I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need?
Technically, I only saw silhouettes.
You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either.
It's a bit hard to swallow. Okay, tell me about Dekker.
I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? They haven't found her, have they? Have they?
I don't think so. Right. Actually, wait a minute. Did I forget something? Yeah, we forgot the Albury footage. I should have started with that. Tell you what, I'll switch the Albury footage, which is past footage with Dekker, after I finish with Lacey, okay? Let's see what we got. It's a problem with if you break up some of these recordings, you can forget a little bit of what happened before. Let's see. No, they didn't find Agnes. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
They haven't found her because that thing ate her. Or made her disappear or something. Her useless husband managed to survive unscathed, though.
Okay, tell me about the useless husband. It can be.
Don't know much about him, other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd...
You sure about the aider? Okay. Could the husband have killed her?
No, I can't really answer that.
Do you suspect the husband? Gotta find out the parser way.
No. He's a Weasley little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing.
Okay. Wait a minute. Could he be digging a grave? Well, that'd be how she disappeared.
What a thing to say! Why would you say that? I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer.
You'd be surprised.
Unless
what?
Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think...
Could Agnes be in the foundation?
I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me.
Okay.
They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
That's kind of a iffy there. I mean, we don't actually have any evidence that she's in the foundations. I mean, we suspect it, but I think I'm a psychiatrist. Sometimes I just think I'm a sentient camera the way things are going. The thing is that, you know what? Yes, I will call the police and get as an anonymous tip.
Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady?
Well, that's kind of why. Why did Dekker call you the leech lady?
He said that I leech thoughts from people, suck 'em right out of their heads. And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up. I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway?
You sell double glazing, don't you? How cute.
Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
Well, you're creepy. I don't know what these achievements actually mean. I think it's a number of questions, and you still... Okay. Where were you on Valentine's night? What's interesting is I don't think she's actually killed Agnes and done that for one simple reason. That obviously there's no reason for her to want us to try to tell the police that he's a murderer, right? And the thing is, I can tell the police that the patient has told me this, and that both of them, in fact, actually, and that means they could both have investigations on both, and at least increase their probability of Agnes being such, because I am not the police, even though they seem to think I should be finding out who killed him. But Valentine's night, which is the night Dekker died, we need alibis.
I was at Heavenly Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
Yes, I have love.
Keep 'em safe. You never know who's going to come knocking on your door.
Actually, oh, we've got green. So that's it for Lacey. So let's take a look at the evidence we have so far. Yeah, this Lacey could have been a schizophrenic that killed her husband. She could have had a monster do that. But the thing is, if you're capable of doing that and making up this whole story, and then she thinks that she's leeching thoughts from people, first of all, again, we do have evidence that Nathan's doing supernatural things, as we keep seeing him over and over again the last time. But that's the thing about this game, is that you're never actually 100% sure what's real and what isn't. It's messing with your head. Now, the thing is that Lacey, first of all, isn't covered by patient doctor confidence because she didn't tell us we did it. Now, did she? Now, of course, I'm splitting hairs, and I've got no idea what the British system is, but it's assuming it's similar. Essentially, if she had just confessed to us out of theoretical possibilities here, yeah, there'd be no reason to actually get Ron in trouble. She should probably have just stuck to her story and not said that. The thing is that whether or not she can leech thoughts is another thing entirely. That would basically make her a telepath. But let's take a look at the clues. Okay, Dr. Albury. Professor Albury, that's what it is. Let's see what you got to say.
Nothing, of course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. But that's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him.
It'd be Azathoth, actually.
Listen to me. You're not listening. It's your only bloody job. Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered. Without chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you. Psychiatrists, doctors, nurses. Anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next.
Quantum mechanics.
Which means that at any given moment, we can choose to alter our perception of the world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float.
That's not how that works.
3, 2, 1.
Budget failure.
You think nothing happened. But where's your glass, Doctor?
Okay, that's kind of weird, but again, if gravity had actually been canceled in that point of time, then what would have happened is everybody flies off the Earth as it's spinning at a huge rotation. It's not how that works. Seriously? Oh, there we go. Apparently you gotta manually do that. Okay, so we're done with Lacey. Okay, so yeah, the concept of the game is that by making people crazier... Okay, let's talk about the observer effect. The observer effect is the fact that in quantum mechanics that everything exists only as a possibility unless somebody's looking at it. The famous one is the double slit experiment. You can look it up online if you want to. It's too hard to explain what it is. But essentially, unless somebody's looking at it, it's not real. It's just a potential. Now, the way this usually manifests is that you can never find a particle, its position or its velocity of an electron or other particle at a subatomic level, one or the other. That's because electrons don't actually exist as discrete particles. They're actually waveforms that collapse upon being observed. This is going to get kind of technical, so I'm going to kind of stop right here, just let you know that the idea is we all perceive reality in a slightly separate way, but we have a consensus reality, which makes us believe that things are right. Like we all agree that, matter is matter. The sun comes up, heat, light, gravity, all of that is part of the consensus reality, but that we could alter it. Now, the thing is that apparently there's an experiment by Alderley to try to get people to observe too much chaos and break things up and see what happens. I'm not actually with him on that one. Okay, Jasmine, you would be next. Distracted, young. I suppose we're gonna have to see what this one is. Let's start with the usual. That's not what I wanted to say.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker?
Oh God. Let's see. Dekker was murdered.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's just do the usual. What is your problem, ma'am?
When you see a painting, it stands still.
Mm-hmm.
When I see one, it's moving, like a mini film, like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting...
Okay. Well, the thing is, she could just be a perceptual thing. See, you got to remember something. Our eyes are like, remember we see like a refresh screen on a computer and such? The refresh rate, that's the amount of times that the image shifts, like 60 per second, for example, is what I'm recording at right now, which probably isn't necessary in a game like this, but I'm still got it as a standard, is that we're not actually seeing the object move. We have 60 different pictures over a second and our brain puts them together. Now, what she's probably talking about on a physical level is that for some reason that effect is kind of loopy, but it only works for a static image. for whatever reason. Okay, so a real live moving image is going to give the same one, but the thing is that she doesn't recognize an object's at rest, so it keeps continuously trying to cycle like that. Is there an actual psychological effect like that? I'm sure. I don't know the name of it, unfortunately, as my degree is not in psychology, even though I'm paying one. So let's just see what else we can find out. Okay, what about people in paintings?
Beats me.
Oh, God. What? Tell me about person. Maybe it has to be person in painting.
They watch me. Normally disapprovingly.
Okay. Why are they disapproving?
Who told you to ask that? I honestly don't know.
Okay. Why do they watch disapproving?
Because they don't think I know how to appreciate art. Because I'm too young.
Why are you too young? Is this where we're actually getting to?
Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
Huh. How do paintings move?
When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop.
Why do you appreciate art? That was strange about that one. That was a trigger. Which, she's young, so I'm going to give her not going to get her bad for pacing in here. We don't want to make her uncomfortable. What paintings can't you stop?
I've been working on portraits at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian. You know, after Dorian Gray.
Oh, yeah. Dorian Gray. Famous story about a man who makes a painting that absorbs all his aging and his, sexually transmitted diseases and his effective alcoholism, so he can keep going on forever. And of course, he becomes decadent, and while he's young, he becomes decadent and disfigured, and eventually destroys it and is destroyed by the damage. But let's let her see what her version is. Oop.
No, sorry.
Ugh. Should have put in Dorian.
I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous.
Probably, yeah.
And it started talking to me.
What did Dorian say?
That I'm ugly. That I have no talent. Nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor?
No, it is not true. God.
I hear it so many times in that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you.
Okay, well, that's projection, basically. Okay, so tell me about Dekker. That's always a good... We'll do Valentine's Day a little later.
He was shy. And then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it.
Unconventional, but that's not addressing the initial problem here, where it's actually her projecting her insecurities onto an inanimate object. That's known as the concept of the Jungian shadow. When you create an alternate version of yourself, basically the parts of you that you don't accept, and it's very nasty to you because you don't accept it. Again, it's one of those things you should probably look up online, because again, I am not a psychiatrist, and this stuff is just passing for me. But it's good wealth of stuff to learn about. I'm rather fond of Jungian psychology. It's of course almost hopeless in a standard therapeutic setting, so I don't think it's going to do so. Set fire to Dorian. Is that what he told you to do?
Yeah, he could have been more specific. I tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery. Several paintings didn't make it.
Oh my God.
Luckily, my boss didn't press charges.
Dekker!
The police did arrest me, though.
This is a failure to communicate. God. Didn't your boss just charges? Well, did not technically correct, but...
My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that.
Oh, yeah.
Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money.
Oh, insurance scam.
Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
Was the fire set for insurance money? Oh, God.
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance.
Did Petra ask you to set the fire?
Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
Oh, well, he's dead, so I can't. Okay. Was Dorian in the fire? No. Did Dorian burn in the fire? Oops, gotta get that right.
I already ripped up the painting.
Okay.
It screamed as I cut it. And now whenever I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
What tablets?
The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time.
I didn't give you anything. This is the first time we've met.
I really don't know. Sorry.
Okay. I didn't give you anything last time.
Dr. Dekker gave them to me.
Right, that's correct.
They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
I think you lack self-confidence.
I don't know.
Let me try again. I think you lack a little bit of self-confidence. Just how specific do we have to get here?
Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
So I'm a psychiatrist. I can actually give out prescriptions. Okay. First of all, what were you doing on Valentine's Day? Now, if you remember, by the way, Ms. Lacey back there went to the same church that Bryce works at.
I had to work all day at Providence.
Okay. What are we doing for this? She's still Amber, unfortunately. Now, there's a thing here, by the way, where sometimes you'll get a question that's in somebody else's description, and that brings you back to somebody else who's Amber. Now, before I was kind of digging through to the Amber, and somebody alerted me to this part of it so that I wouldn't, go overboard trying to find something that I actually couldn't. So what I'm going to do is that if I run out of ideas, I'm simply going to switch over to somebody else, which will be Bryce, which will be next episode, because they're probably reaching about the half-hour point here, and I'm kind of not going to push things a bit. Because if I start with Bryce has got a red beside him instead of an amber, which means he's going to be a long one, like the other 5, which are the standard ones we're dealing with. But yeah, we could possibly find out if Lacey's been trying to use this for an alibi, because hell, that apparently was Claire was doing. Maybe Dekker has this thing going. You pay him enough money, or have enough sessions, he'll say you're nuts and you can get off on a crime. Jasmine might have the same thing going here, but she appears to be hooked on pills. I mean, that's the thing. Where exactly does the madness start and the actual dark magic begin? We know there's some, because we've seen Nathan in operation. We don't know how many others have this sort of thing, and it's kind of been hinted at in the interview we just saw that Aldery, that's his name. Aldery may be trying to start an experiment to do that and use Dekker to do so by infecting him with madness. Then he infects all the patients, and they try to create craziness, and then they try to bring back Cthulhu. okay, not the most bizarre ritual I've ever thought about training the Dark Lord. And by the way, Cthulhu is not the god of the Lovecraft universe. That's Azathoth. Thank you very much. There's my geek points for the day. And yeah, so what I'm going to do at this point is probably, like I said, stop here. Like I said, but before we get to the end of day 2, if there's any more amber we haven't figured out, I'll go back and I'll try to figure it out. And then we'll skip over to Bryce and Claire for the next episode. So for now, this is Fantastic World saying farewell from Lovecraft Country and the infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. And as stated before, if you like this, like, share, subscribe, and if you really like it, there's links down below to the payment platform of Gumroad instead of Patreon. I've explained my problems with those before. And that can help me expand this channel. $1 gives you access to bonus material. Try to do that about monthly. And $2 give you early access to all videos. In addition, we're only $3 away from our next stretch goal, which is a Secret World Legends stretch goal. I explained that over there. I don't think you need to hear it here. And we are currently, at the time of this recording, only 3 episodes away from the 150 mark, which means that I will do the Lust from Beyond Lovecraftian erotic thriller. Completely blind, completely snarky, and we're going to find out what somebody thinks erotic Lovecraft looks like, because frankly, I'm drawing a blank and I'm kind of happy about that. But until next time, see you later.